Ilia Topuria just KO'd Max Holloway, the first man to ever KO Max Holloway at the main event of UFC 308. Insane to watch. I had Max Holloway winning by decision, and it looks like he was doing okay. I thought I had it 1-1, and in round 3, Ilia Topuria gets the KO. First man to ever KO Holloway. Insanity. I think Topuria might be the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC. When you look at his boxing, his knockout ability, his submissions, and wrestling, he took Max Holloway down with ease. Although Max did get up relatively easily. Ilia Topuria, nobody beats him at featherweight. Nobody. It's not even close. I think he smokes Diego Lopez. I think he smokes Movsar Evloev. I think he smokes Volk in a rematch. Max Holloway's not going to be fighting at 45 anymore. So this guy's probably going to retire undefeated, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's a hot take to say. Who beats him in featherweight? Who? I think, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if he gave him a shot versus Makhachev at this point. Just because that might be a casual take, one title defense. Actually, let's build up the hype between that fight more. Let's do Topuria versus Volkanovski rematch, and then let's do, if he beats Volk, which I think he will, then you could maybe give Movsar or Diego Lopez a title shot. Then you can get 3 title defenses under Ilia Topuria's belt, and maybe seeing him go up won't seem so unwarranted, because a lot of these champions are just going up after one title defense or wanting to go up, and it's annoying. But yeah, man, in the fight, Max Holloway looked to be good, and he was busting up Ilia Topuria a little bit in some of the exchanges. But man, Topuria, you just felt the whole time that it felt like Holloway was going to get KO'd at any moment. Like, even though I picked Holloway, it just felt like it was like any second he could just get put out cold with one shot. And I was nervous the entire time. I was literally shaking in my chair. I was like, man, Topuria looks like he's about to just unwind a right hand and KO Holloway. It just seemed like every time Holloway got hit, his eyes got big, and it was like, whoa, what was that? And then eventually he got cracked in the 3rd round, and then Ilia followed up with hammer fists on the ground, and Holloway went out. First man to ever put Holloway out cold. He said he would in the 1st round. He did it in the 3rd round, so he stuck to his word to some degree. Man, Ilia Topuria is impressive. Like I said, I picked Holloway, but I did say I would not be surprised if Topuria won. I did also say that he wouldn't KO Max Holloway, so credit to Topuria for getting the KO. Insane. Nobody thought he was going to KO Max. Well, actually, a lot of people did think he was going to KO Max, but I don't think a lot of people actually believe that. They said he would, but to actually see it happen is crazy, because who does that to Max Holloway? Ilia Topuria, pound for pound, got to be like top 3, top 5 power in the UFC. His power is insane. His technique is insane. He has unbelievable jiu-jitsu, incredible boxing. I mean, this dude has the full package, and he's only 27 years old. Like, most guys, they don't get to the skill level to be this well-rounded till they're like in their mid-30s, like Islam Makhachev, early 30s. He developed his striking later on. Ilia Topuria, dude, 27 years old, anywhere the fight goes with this guy, it's dangerous. You get on the ground, he's going to submit you. You get on the feet, he'll probably knock you out. Like, this dude. And how good is Josh Emmett's chin, by the way? How good is Josh Emmett's chin? He KO'd Max Holloway, but Josh Emmett stood in the pocket with Topuria and just took hammers for 5 rounds. Insane, dude. Like I said, I didn't think Topuria would be able to KO Max. I didn't see it, but he proved me wrong. It looked like Max was getting the better of him in some exchanges, but it always felt like Topuria in the fight was landing the better shots. He was landing the harder shots. And anytime Topuria would land, it would kind of make me go, ugh. Like, oh shit, Max Holloway actually might get KO'd. And yeah, man, it's surreal to see. Holloway has one of the most legendary chins in UFC history. Been in the UFC for 12 years. He got kind of sat down by Justin Gaethje for a second, but never truly knocked down. Ilia Topuria becomes the first to knock him down and finish him. And Max Holloway has fought some absolute killers with a lot of power, and no one's been able to do that. Ilia Topuria is insane. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters in UFC history. I think he's the most well-rounded UFC fighter right now. Like, even more so than Makhachev. Like, his striking's so dangerous. Like, he's KOing everybody. He just KO'd Volk and Max Holloway back-to-back. That in itself is insane. That's 2 insane all-time wins back-to-back. Ilia Topuria, he's going to be a superstar. I think the UFC needs to bring this guy to Spain for his next fight. Ilia Topuria in Spain versus Diego Lopez. They both are Spanish speakers. That would be insane. I don't know, man. For Max Holloway, he said he wants to move up to 55. I think that's a good idea for him. Put him up at 155. He looked really good against Justin Gaethje, and I think his chin will recover just fine as long as he doesn't weight cut to 145 anymore. But yeah, man, this UFC 308 card was insane, and this was my most anticipated fight on the card, this and Chimaev Whitaker. I was nervous for both fights, even though I had an idea of what would happen. I didn't know what would happen, obviously, because no one fucking thought that Topuria would actually put Max Holloway out cold. Some people did, but insane to actually see. If you look at the total strikes, Max Holloway was actually outstriking Ilia Topuria by a few strikes, nothing crazy. Ilia Topuria did take him down with ease at one point, and I've always thought Max Holloway kind of had overrated takedown defense. He's been taken down quite a bit in his career. I think Yair Rodriguez took him down at one point. He was taken down by Volk, which fair enough, Volk's a good wrestler. He was taken down by Topuria. Like, Max Holloway has decent wrestling, but it's not like he can't be taken down. He has been taken down in his career, so it wasn't crazy shocking to see Topuria get a takedown. But I think Topuria just took him down so he could say, hey, man, look, I have these takedowns in my back pocket, just to keep Max Holloway guessing. Because now, not only do you have to worry about Topuria's insane boxing on the feet and like scary KO power, you have to worry about if he's going to shoot a takedown and try to submit you. So Topuria did a good job at mixing it up and just keeping Max Holloway guessing. And like I said, man, it just felt like every time Ilia Topuria threw, it's like, man, it looked like that hurt Holloway. Or it just felt like Max Holloway was about to get KO'd at any moment in the fight. Even though I picked Max Holloway, I felt this way the whole time. Topuria just has a different power, man. And it was nice to see Topuria after the fight be super respectful to Volk and Max. You could tell he has a lot of respect for him, and he was really just trash talking in the build-up, just to build up the fight. So respect to Topuria for being a really good champion and a really good winner. He was really wholesome in the post-fight interview. Got to give him respect for that. And listen, man, Topuria put it all on the line. He talked all the trash, and he backed it up. He put it all on the line, because guess what? If Topuria went out there and Max Holloway KO'd him or beat him dominantly, he would have had to eat all of his words. He'd have had to eat everything he said, and he would have looked like a total jackass. And yeah, he went out there and did his thing. First guy to ever KO Max Holloway. And yeah, man, I think you do him versus Diego Lopez or Movsar Evloev next. I don't think the Makhachev fight yet. Give it a little bit more time. Actually, no, I think you do him versus Volkanovski next. Give Volkanovski his rematch, even though I do think he's going to get KO'd, and a lot of people don't want to see it. That's probably the fight they're going to do. Dana White already is talking about it. So Ilia Topuria versus Volkanovski, and then maybe you do him versus Diego Lopez or Movsar Evloev, depending on the scheduling. And you get him 3 title defenses, and then if Makhachev hasn't retired yet, then you throw Ilia Topuria versus Makhachev, and I think that's an insane fight, and they can fight for the pound-for-pound #1 in the UFC. And yeah, man, insanity. UFC 308 was an insane card. Crazy to see live. I streamed the entire event, and thank you for the people who hung out with me and watched the fights. It was a crazy card, but yeah, guys, here's my thoughts on Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Shame Holloway lost. I really wanted him to win, but Topuria was gracious in victory. And yeah, good to see him stick to his words and get a knockout over Max Holloway, I guess. So yeah, this is my thoughts on the fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who can beat Topuria? Is he the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC? Let me know. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.